Austrian GP, Verstappen alleges Mercedes foul play as FIA reaches its verdict. Max Verstappen's dramatic crash in qualifying triggered fresh controversy at the Red Bull Ring, with the Dutchman questioning Mercedes' actions under yellow flags. However, after a detailed investigation, the FIA has now delivered its final verdict, and the outcome is unlikely to satisfy everyone in the paddock. Verstappen crash sparks late qualifying drama. The closing moments of qualifying at the Austrian Grand Prix produced one of the season's most dramatic twists. Max Verstappen was pushing hard on his final flying lap when he lost the rear of his Red Bull through turn 9, slid across the gravel and hit the barriers. The incident immediately brought out yellow flags, creating confusion for the drivers still on their laps. At that stage, George Russell was directly behind the four-time world champion and appeared to be on course for a sensational pole position lap. While Ferrari briefly believed Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton had secured the front row, Russell continued to the line and ultimately claimed pole position. Verstappen questions Mercedes' conduct. The circumstances surrounding Russell's lap quickly became the centre of attention. Verstappen suggested that Mercedes may not have reacted appropriately to the yellow flags and hinted that the regulations had not been applied consistently. "I saw the yellow flags immediately, and my first thought was whether everyone behind had slowed enough," Verstappen reportedly said after qualifying. "You always expect the rules to be applied equally. If someone gains an advantage in those circumstances, then obviously questions have to be asked." The Dutchman stopped short of directly accusing Russell of wrongdoing, but made it clear that he wanted the FIA to examine the incident thoroughly. FIA clears Russell after investigation. Following a review by the stewards, the FIA concluded that Russell had complied fully with the regulations. According to the governing body, the yellow signals displayed at the time were single yellows rather than double yellows. Under the sporting regulations, drivers are required to reduce speed and be prepared to change direction, but they are not obliged to abandon the lap entirely. Telemetry data showed that Russell lifted off the throttle for approximately 100 metres, costing him around 1.5 tenths of a second. After reviewing the evidence, the stewards decided that no further action was necessary. The FIA's official statement read, "Car 63 reduced speed appropriately under the single yellow flag conditions. The driver reacted correctly to the signals displayed and complied with the requirements of the sporting regulations. Therefore, no further action is warranted." Russell delighted with pole position. Russell was understandably delighted after securing his fourth pole position of the season. The Mercedes driver insisted that he had followed the rules precisely despite the chaos unfolding ahead of him. "It all happened incredibly quickly, but I knew exactly what the flags meant and reacted accordingly," Russell explained. The Briton added that his confidence remains high as he attempts to close the championship gap to teammate Kimi Antonelli. "Yeah, 100%, I just need to get that click. The speed has been there all season." Ferrari and Mercedes set for intense battle. The FIA's verdict means Russell will start Sunday's Austrian Grand Prix from pole position ahead of Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton. Verstappen's lap before his crash was still good enough for fifth on the grid, setting up another fascinating battle at the Red Bull Ring. Although the controversy surrounding the yellow flags has now been officially settled, Verstappen's remarks ensure that the debate over qualifying's dramatic conclusion is unlikely to disappear anytime soon.